Here's the meme of the day, everybody. It's Donald Trump falling down while playing golf, and it says, "I've felon and I can't get up," as George Conway says. I'm so pissed I didn't come up with this. But on a serious note, I want to show you what it is that Donald Trump's been posting over the weekend, which is so incredibly dangerous. Here are the types of text messages that he's sending out. From Trump. George, do you think I'm guilty? The trial was rigged. 1 million responses needed by midnight. And then it gives you a link and it says, stop to end. By the way, I like George Conway's response. Yes, guilty 34 times. By the way, when's your interview with the probation officer? Here's the headline on Drudge. 54 more charges to go. The convicted contender. Trump is now banned from Canada and the UK. 10% of Republicans walking away, question mark. That's what's leading the coverage on Drudge. By the way, it's actually more than that. A new Morning Consult poll shows warning signs for Donald Trump. 49% of independents and 15% of Republicans want Donald Trump out of the presidential race. 54% of registered voters approve of the guilty verdict. Only 34% disapprove. And where have we seen those numbers before? That 30, 35%, that's the MAGA base right there. And then when you see 15% of Republicans want Donald Trump to drop out of the race. Where have we seen that number before? You know, from our coverage here at the MeidasTouch Network, that is like the Nikki Haley voter group that consistently has been voting against Donald Trump in each and every one of the primaries. So Donald Trump's aware of those devastating numbers, and here are the type of things that he's posting as we reported. Trump claims his conviction is part of election stealing plot. Trump is setting up the stage for a 2024 Stop the Steal. And here's the message that Trump's putting out. I can't go on until I hear from you. They want me in prison for 187 years. So please deliver the largest response in history. I need to know. Now that I've been found guilty in Biden's rigged court, do I still have your support? And that's the message that they're pushing out over and over again, that it's rigged when it was not, when Donald Trump got a fair and impartial jury who all unanimously found that Donald Trump committed crimes, 34 felony counts to be exact. Donald Trump's not even in prison yet, and he's whining that he is a political prisoner. I mean, just think about how obnoxious and whiny and dangerous this is and how just unhinged it is. Trump posts, I am a political prisoner. Breaking. Corrupt New York court finds Trump guilty. Stand with Trump. He then posts again, all caps, I am the political prisoner of a failing nation, but I will soon be free. November 5th and make America great again. You're not even in prison yet. Sentencing is July 11th. Then, of course, there's all the grift as you scroll through his timeline on his social media platform. Don't worry. You don't have to do it. I do that for you. You have the Trump trading card that they're selling on Trump's social media right there. Not a cult, right? This is someone named I Stand With Trump 47, Lara, who Donald Trump repeatedly reposts over and over again. And she gives these weird AI memes and images that show Donald Trump and Melania, but it looks nothing like them. And it says, re-electing Trump is no longer a political choice. It's a survival choice. Trump 2024, and you see them right there holding hands. By the way, Melania did not show up once at Donald Trump's criminal trial. When Donald Trump held that press conference at Trump Tower, guess where Melania was? Not there. She's barely shown up to any campaign events of Donald Trump. She's been embarrassing and humiliating him over and over again because he's embarrassing and humiliating her each and every day. But what Donald Trump is doing is he's taking more of these propaganda videos and he's pretending that people are waving to him. This is something that he routinely does, as our editor-in-chief, Ron Filipkowski, writes. Trump does this all the time. I posted similar clips where he waits in the lobby for a couple of minutes for his propaganda team to get everything set up. Sometimes they throw a few housekeepers and servers out there to cheer for him. And this is the @RiotWomen account that showed this video of how this propaganda was being made earlier in the day of Donald Trump. And here's what this account says. This is what Trump does, but usually the camera is in front and there is no sound. Trump waving to non-existent supporters. Bet Trump enablers have been scrambling to likely pay people to come to Trump Tower. His slumped, fat back shoulders are way worse than I assumed. Again, just take a look at him in this video that they're making to shoot the propaganda, where they then put in crowds and things like that. Again, these are the tactics of Saddam Hussein and Gaddafi and Kim Jong-un and people like that. Here, play this clip.
See you later.
By the way, as Donald Trump is doing that, President Biden was out on a bike ride today. Think Donald Trump could ever even get on a bike, yet alone ride the bike? Here's President Biden riding the bike in Delaware. Play this clip.
Mr. President, are you preparing for the debates at all?
And he was supposed to be me, Mr. President.
Here's a post from the Biden-Harris campaign. I'll be damned if I let Donald Trump turn America into a place that doesn't believe in honesty, decency, and treating people with respect. I'll be damned if I let Donald Trump turn America into a place filled with anger, resentment, and hate. Signed, President Joe Biden. Also, the Biden-Harris campaign posted the following. Biden calls on grocery chains to reduce prices for consumers. And guess what happened? Walgreens joins Target, Amazon, Walmart in announcing steep summer price cuts. But you have the whole MAGA Republican takeover of the Republican Party with right-wing extremist organizations like the Heritage Foundation flying upside-down flags, the same type of upside-down flag that Justice Alito flies and that Marjorie Taylor Greene posted. All of these MAGA Republicans are posting upside-down flags. Folks, I could tell you firsthand because I represented Colin Kaepernick when Donald Trump and all the MAGA Republicans at the time were saying how disrespectful it was to the flag when Donald Trump was in Huntsville, Alabama, and he was saying that because Colin Kaepernick took a knee, peacefully protested during the playing of the national anthem. He wasn't getting in people's faces. He wasn't making any noises. He wasn't mangling the flag. He wasn't changing the flag to a Trump flag. And now what do the MAGA Republicans do? They drop Donald Trump's mugshots at Yankee Stadium and other stadiums during the playing of the national anthem. They fly the flag upside down. It is so odd. It is so incredibly bizarre and unhinged. As Adam Kinzinger also writes, I never thought in my life I'd see a bunch of grown adults throwing a temper tantrum. If you fly the flag upside down, you are an un-American commie, and truly, you need counseling for emotional control. Kinzinger also writes, watching the meltdown has made me feel a bit better about November. They have played this so incorrectly from a raw political perspective. Now that Americans are starting to pay attention to the campaign, the collective WTF factor will increase exponentially. This is a piece of news, too, I want to share with you. Salem, which was involved in the production and distribution of that Dinesh documentary, the 2000 Mules one that Donald Trump and MAGA always cites, they had to actually issue an apology because of the lies that they told in that movie. As this account says, every Trump supporter who pushed this nonsense should also apologize. It was all BS from the get-go. Go get your refunds, clowns. Some real, again, sickening disinformation spread right there. More posts from Donald Trump after sitting for 5 weeks through that rigged trial in Lower Manhattan, which was surrounded by vast but unnecessary numbers of New York's finest in order to keep law-abiding MAGA patriots away. And as I watched insignificant numbers of fully funded radical left troublemakers with brand new and gleaming professionally made signs screaming and cursing from the area said to be closed to us and all others. I realize the reason, truth, and love of our country is no longer a force of good of change. These are dark days in America. They're dark days because of you. But although I think for the first time, the international community, though, is looking at America and our justice system with newfound respect when our jury system has held you accountable. But Donald Trump keeps reposting things like this from Greg Jarrett. I have a right to say this case was rigged. And just posts like this over and over again. Also, you note when Donald Trump talks about all the supporters he claims to have in New York, and he's going to turn New York red, and he claims he has all these big rallies, but then he goes, but I can't get a fair trial in New York. It's all Democrats on the jury, which is just totally bogus. You got a fair and impartial jury. Your lawyers were involved in the jury selection process. The jury heard all of the evidence. All of the evidence was absolutely overwhelming. Overwhelming. I want to share this with you as well. Stock market way up, hitting record highs now on Trump's conviction. Investors liked the strong vote of confidence in the integrity of the American legal system. They also liked the news that inflation is down and hitting the targets of where the Fed wanted it to be to lower interest rates. So economy's actually doing pretty good. More work to do, of course, but doing pretty good. Here's what Tim Miller wrote. Been banging this drum for a while. It's one of the hardest things to figure out about polling. You'd think the objective reality of abundant American life would make the dystopian MAGA rhetoric unsustainable at some point. And he's reposting an account called Southpaw that talks about how the good news has reached sports podcast. And it talks about the Colin Cowherd podcast. And Colin Cowherd's like, look, he's trying to sell about Trump. He's trying to sell me an America that doesn't exist, Cowherd said on his latest podcast. I don't see crime. I'm not stumbling over homeless people. I see happy people. Dodger Stadium is full. Leads Major League Baseball in attendance. Laker games are full. NFL games are full. People have money in their pocket. LAX is packed. I just saw record airline revenue over the weekend. I'm constantly being sold in America by Donald Trump of crime rates are skyrocketing. No, they're actually not. Starting in 2023, they have plummeted coast to coast. You can't keep selling me on how bad the country I live in is, because it's not as bad as what you're saying. Donald Trump is now a felon, Cowherd said. His campaign chairman was a felon. So is his deputy campaign manager, his personal lawyer, his chief strategist, his national security advisor, his trade advisor, his foreign policy advisor, his campaign fixer, and his company CFO. They're all felons. Judge people by the company they keep. It's a cabal of convicts. And so, I just think that message is starting to get out. Also wanted to share this with you. Take a look at this chart right here. United States construction finances, private non-residential manufacturing, and the computer electronic electrical SAAR-USD. Here it is. The CHIPS Act is attracting an insane amount of investment. U.S. is now on a pace to add more investment in electronics manufacturing construction this year alone, as it did in total from 1996 until the passage of the CHIPS Act in 2020. Funding not yet secured then, but investment started. So just think about it. The CHIPS Act is attracting insane amount of investment. U.S. is now on pace, because of Biden's CHIPS Act, to add more investment in electronics manufacturing than it did in total from 1996 until the passage of the CHIPS Act. So it's through the 2020, and then Biden pushed through the CHIPS Act. So there you have it, folks. We'll keep you updated with more Donald Trump spiraling. But I want to give you all that other news as well. Hit subscribe. We're on our way to 3 million subscribers thanks to your support. Thanks for watching, and have a good one.
Enough! Send it to the big house, not the White House. Get the new exclusive tees, mugs, and stickers right now at store.MeidasTouch.com. That's store.MeidasTouch.com.